cracking up.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Rebecca Happy from Happy Grounds. Today I have a very special guest that we're going to talk with, and I'm sure you're going to find very interesting to meet. Her name is Debbie Alley. She's here in Canada right now, but she originated in Trinidad. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a teacher, she's an author, and she's a survivor. And now she's launching something new to make her a creator to help a lot of people. So, welcome, Debbie. So glad you could meet with me.
Wow. Hi, Rebecca. I love the introduction. Very nice to be here.
Yeah. So, I heard you had a spa day and got your hair done today.
Finally.
The pandemic.
The pandemic. Finally, I think I look more like a human being now than I did in the last maybe year and a half. So thank goodness for
Yeah.
that.
So, this pandemic of being shut down for the year and a half has completely altered your life, my life,
Oh, yeah.
and people's lives all over the world.
Mhm.
And so, we're just going to backtrack a little bit and then we're going to bring to what happened 2 years ago or the
Sure.
16 months ago,
Mhm.
so that now you're ready to launch this new project. They're all interconnected, and there's some episodes that
Mhm.
have triggered a complete detour of your life,
Oh, yeah.
like many of
Mhm.
us.
Of course.
And the
Mhm.
pandemic has allowed you to sort of reinforce or get some strength there to go, wow, this is where I'm going now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
That's correct. The pandemic, I think, I mean, globally, it's had a tremendous impact on lives. People I mean, we've been affected in terms of many of us, most of us, in terms of isolation and not being able to connect with our loved ones or simply go out in some cases. But then what about those who have lost loved ones? That in itself is, you know, traumatic. It's
Yeah.
devastating.
And lost
And
employment
loss of employment. This
because they
this
had to stay
pandemic.
home and look after their families.
That's right. Women have been really, and now this does not I'm not taking anything away from the men and how this has affected men because it has. But
Everybody.
my experience due to this pandemic is from what I've seen is women have suffered tremendously in terms of employment, having to choose between, okay, do I go to work so I can feed my kids and leave them unattended, or do I stay at home? There have been difficult choices.
Yeah.
Women have had to make.
Domestic abuses on the rise.
Oh my goodness.
Mental health issues.
Skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Mental health. Because now these women who have been under abusive, whether it's verbal, emotional, mental, or physical abuse, even sexual abuse in their marriages, they're now stuck in that
Yeah.
home environment with the abuser
Yeah.
without even the liberty of going to work
Yeah.
to escape it even for a few hours. And that has led to a massive incline in terms of abuse, one, sexual assault, mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mental health issues, it's always been very prevalent. And for some reason, it's been swept under the rug for many, many years. And more and more, people are coming out and they're speaking out about all sorts of deviations in society, whether it's Black Lives Matter, etc. But mental health, I don't believe is really being addressed as it should be,
So
especially with women.
you're a counselor, right? You became a counselor
Yes, yes,
after you had a traumatic event.
yes, that's also correct. Mhm.
So you've seen the impact of trauma and mental health issues directly
Oh yeah,
through your practice.
oh yes, oh yes. I have, and not just my practice, but in everyday life, my eyes have been opened now to. You look at we as a society, we tend to stereotype people, whether consciously or subconsciously. We look at men or certain types of men, or whether it's according to race or religion or whatever it be, and we stereotype them. Or this group, okay, they fall into that category. And a woman looks like this, so she's good. She's got it good. She's driving a BMW, whatever, and she's got it good. No one knows what goes on behind closed doors. And so my trauma has allowed me to really fully appreciate the fact that more people are suffering around you than you realize. And is effective help really available to them? Is the big question. Because I'll just briefly mention what occurred in 2006, where I was abducted and held hostage for 2 weeks for ransom, yes. And during that period of time, I was assaulted brutally, beaten, starved, you name it, it was done. Fortunately, I was released 14 days and 14 nights after. But it was because of that I was able to see the effect that it had on my kids, who were very young at the time. And they're now young adults, but I still see the effects. My marriage, my husband, my mom, my brother, my very close friends who absolutely refuse to speak about it in any form or fashion. And I see the effect that this has had, the ripple effect. And that is something that the powers that be and society as a whole, for some reason, they seem to feel that if you are abused, that's you. And they fail to recognize that there is a very wide ripple effect. The kids, the friends, the best friends, the husband, the in-laws, your siblings, you see, your place of
This
work.
is where you obviously you must have done some healing work to be able to go through that. And you had mentioned earlier that you published a book in 2010 that sort of talks about the account, or the documents what you experienced.
Correct.
Right.
Now
And
that
so what got you from being a victim to becoming like a teller of the story? The capacity to do that, like that takes a lot of strength to be able to do that, and then publicly produce a book with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm at this juncture, I must say that, a lot of people look at me and say, "Oh, Debbie, you're such a strong woman, and all this." And really, I'm not all that. Really, I'm just like you, Rebecca. I'm just like every other mom, every other woman out there. Okay.
Or maybe they're all strong.
We all are. And that's a large part of the message that I want to get out there. We all are. I'm no different to anyone out there. What grounded me, however, what gave me the ability to move forward, to refuse to give in to the depression and the suicidal tendencies, and yes, I have been there, and the recklessness and all of the post symptoms of trauma, was that I was solidly grounded in my faith, and I still am. And everything that I do and everything that I have been doing has been divinely guided, including the book that I wrote.
What's the name of the book that you wrote?
Bare Feet.
Bare Feet.
Bare Feet. It's a Kindle book for now on Amazon. Hopefully, will be in print soon. Again, COVID, our friend COVID-19. So that book recounts the tragedy of what happened, but more so, I tell a part of the story that gives people hope and courage, that if I can overcome this, so can you. And unfortunately, it has been my unfortunate experience, and having spoken to women over the years, it's been their unfortunate experience also, that the system that is in place, whether it's Trinidad, even here in Canada, that deals with mental health issues and abuse and trauma and so on, are sorely lacking in different ways.
Right. But so you wrote your book and it
Mhm.
became public, and
Yeah,
you became rooted in your faith. You moved
of
to
course.
Canada in
Mhm.
spite you continued to raise your children,
Yeah.
and you lived the pandemic, and now you're seeing you're ready to do a reprint of your book, right?
Mhm.
And you see the problem the pandemic has, how it's impacted women around the
Yes.
globe. It's impacted everybody, but we're talking about women because
Yeah.
that's who you want to speak with.
Mhm.
And you're just about to, at the same time as you're launching this book, as you're launching a new social network or a new place to broadcast for women so that
Mhm.
their voices are heard and their shared voices can unite and help each other out, and
Yeah.
so that moving forward we can be change makers. And what's the name of this
Mhm.
network?
It's called My Love Network. Uh, LUV, as in love. Love. So it's essentially a network designed to encourage women to live L uninhibited or live
Unrestricted.
there unrestricted. You can use any number of U words,
Yes, you
okay?
can.
Whatever floats your boat. The premise is that you live an uninhibited life, free to pursue your visions, your dreams, whatever word, whatever V word you choose to use. But you are now free, in many cases, from yourself, from your own inhibitions, to live your life as you see fit for you. And this network is meant to bring women together. And more often than not, women tend to pull each other apart. It should not be that way. We, as a collective, women as a collective, we undergo very similar experiences, very similar aches and pains of aging, of from one stage of life to another. And we go through all of these stages in life, childbearing and child rearing, and attempting to be the right kind of partner, the right wife. And we go through all of these changes in life, and we need to pool together. We need to pool our knowledge, our experiences together and support one another. And that's what My Love Network is about.
And we want it to be
Allowing
a safe place
It's a
so
safe
that all
space.
voices can be heard.
That's right. Non-judgmental. This in my Love Network, there is no room for gender, for race, religion, culture. There is no judgment. You all are welcome. And all are welcome who are not there to judge. Judgment is not allowed because everyone has their own experience and is allowed to feel and assimilate and deal with their own experiences in their own way, and that should not be tampered with, and it will not be tampered with. See, so that's why My Love Network is the platform for women to come together. Let's deal with situations, everything that affects women, from health, physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual
business
well-being,
business help and
business,
entrepreneurship.
of course, so that women who are in who again, because of the pandemic, so many men and women, but again especially women, have been forced now to find other means of an income whilst taking care of their kids at home. So a lot of these small businesses, they need some extra support. They need the support of others around them. And that's what My Love Network is determined to do, give them that boost.
I think
See?
that for me, one of the biggest learnings through the pandemic, especially for businesses or communities to thrive, is
Mhm.
that people have to start collaborating and
Oh, yeah.
realizing that we belong to a collective, like in our communities, in the global community,
Mm.
and that when those groups or the communities or the businesses start collaborating together, then
Yeah,
big changes can happen.
that's correct. That's correct. It's again, it's all about pooling our resources, our knowledge, our expertise, sharing, and not so much, we're not competing, but sharing. Because when you share, when you give, you get. I mean, that's a very well-known phrase, but have you ever really thought about it? The more you give freely of your expertise, of your experience in a certain field that I may not be well versed in, the universe is going to give it back to you. You're getting that back tenfold some way or the other. You're going to get that support that you need perhaps in another area of your life. You see, that's just the way it works. You give, you get. It's a give and take of energies. You see, and more than ever after I don't want to say after. I do not want to jinx it, but now that we're sort of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel of this COVID-19, um, now more than ever, we need to take this opportunity to vamp up our networking, get our women on board, get our people on board, push hard. Got to.
Yeah. So, when do you think this is going to be ready to launch? Like, when are you launching this MyLuvNetwork?
Well, an official date is not yet out there, but extremely soon. We've already got the Facebook, all the social media platforms. They've been set up, YouTube, the website pages there. So it's now simply a matter of uploading content. Okay, which this will be part of the content. So we're in the process now of generating massive amounts of content. Um, so in terms of a specific date, no, but very, very, very soon.
How can people get involved, and what are you looking for in terms of support right now to help with that launch?
Currently, we're looking for sponsors. Those who are so inclined. Again, our target audience is a little bit leaning more towards the women. However, all supporters of women and the endeavors that women um, partake in. Okay, whether you're men, try. We have no bias. We're looking for sponsors, people who believe in what we see the MyLuvNetwork can be. So this is, yeah, while it's open for all, at the same time, we want individuals as a part of our network who are serious about giving, who are serious about giving back to communities and helping women in need, and who are also serious in helping other women grow. So we are in the process of pulling in selected sponsors, and I might add at a ridiculous rate at this point, simply so that we can get this network off the ground.
And so how do people reach out?
Reach out to me.
Reach out to you. How do they do that?
Okay, you can get me via email. I mean, my phone numbers.
Do you want a phone number or do you want an email? I'm going to put it up for you.
You can put them both up.
Okay, so please tell me your email.
Okay, they can use DEAR DAA 4, as in the number 4, at gmail.com.
Okay, so this is specifically for MyLuvNetwork?
MyLuvNetwork, yes. You can just put MyLuvNetwork in the subject, so I will know it pertains to that.
So just make sure I got it spelled correctly here.
That's correct.
Okay. So just email Debbie at dearda4@gmail.com if you're a business that's looking or interested in finding out how you can be a sponsor and a supportive of this great new network.
That's right.
A private network of women helping women and women building community.
That's right.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Debbie.
Sure, no worries. Would I be able to leave a phone number as well?
I think I think that's it's
It's
clear. Yeah, I think that's clear.
It's clear?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
This,
Now, I just want to throw this out there before I go. Um, for those of you who are considering sponsorship or becoming involved in My Love Network in any way, form, or fashion, please remember, I am exactly like you. I'm got this, still got the laundry, the dishes, everything else. I've still got to run the errands and cook and look after my kids. It's the difference is I have chosen to embrace my responsibility as a woman to reach out to other women and share what I know, share what I've learned, in the hope of uplifting everyone. And if I uplift only one individual, man or woman, or anywhere in between, that's good enough for me. I would say I've done my part. So all is welcome.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to helping out and
I
seeing
hope
how
so.
everything unfolds.
I
Have
hope
a good
so.
weekend.
You too, Rebecca.